Hey, what's up, guys? Let's chat about some healing, chat about some detox, chat about life. You know, when I look back at what I've done in the past 2 years, it's absolutely mind-blowing. February of 2016, I guess it's more than 2 years, I was suicidal, panic attacks 24/7, crippling anxiety straight through the day, every day just trying to get through each day, unimaginable inner torment, suffering, feeling like I was being electrocuted, inflammation all over my entire body. One of these days I'll actually go and write every single symptom out that I had, but to be honest, I forget a lot of them. People ask me when I'm doing coaching calls, they're like, hey, have you ever heard of this? I'm like, oh yeah, I had that. I forgot, it's gone now. And all of that, right? So living in that world of torment, what I would consider hell on earth, to 2.5 years later, living in an unbelievable, beautiful apartment in Berkeley, California. Overlooking the bay, though it's a little cloudy right now, basically in the forest, with a business that invigorates me on a pretty regularly basis. Though I must admit, sometimes, many times, I get very, very stressed out. Amazing, beautiful friends. Amazing relationships with deep, authentic relationships. An incredible YouTube channel with amazing followers who attack anyone who attacks me. Thank you for that, guys. And freedom. I wake up every single day and I do what I want to do. I don't listen to anyone. I don't take orders. I don't listen to rules. I don't listen to conditions. I generate my own thoughts and I live my life in accordance with my own thoughts. There's no conditioned programming running the show. So I've come an incredibly long way in 2.5 years. Might I add, on the social economic topic 2.5 years ago, which I didn't mention, I was caddying at a country club, literally carrying golf bags for a living. Not when I was at my very end. At my very end, I couldn't even do that. But for the years prior, I was. So no freedom, totally still, obeying orders, obeying rules, listen on someone else's watch. Probably to the maximum, because I was obeying rules from the caddy master and then obeying rules from the actual golfer, which was a minute-to-minute obedience that must have happened. That would have had to happen in order for me to be a good caddy. Okay, so how did I do it? Well, there's tons of detox protocols and detox wisdom that I can talk about right now. I just want to mention that you have to heal your gut before doing any really intense heavy metal or parasite detox work. You have to reduce inflammation in the intestines, get your energy flowing, get your bowels moving before doing any heavy duty chelation or deep detox work. If you're in that type of, especially if you're in that type of place that I'm talking about, that level of darkness. So anywhere from death, plus or minus 20%, have to heal the gut first. If you're in pretty good health and you're looking to become in great health, you can start with the more intensive detox protocols, but you'll have to always jump back to healing your gut, because the more detox work you do, the more you lose integrity in your gut and your gut health. So you do a little gut healing and then more chelation, more parasite work, back to gut healing, boom, 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 and you cycle between the two. But anyhow, this video is not about detox and not about the exact modalities of how I got to where I am. For a couple of reasons. Number one, I have tons of other videos about that. Number two, because it's not only the protocols that got me to where I am. See, that's where people are losing their shit, thinking that it's only about spirituality, it's only about mind over body, versus it's only about taking supplements and herbs, or it's only about taking pills. We have to merge it all together. We have to have a holistic approach, okay? So what's the mindset that we can go, for someone, my average listener, right? If I'm in tune with my listener, which I guess I'm probably not that good at being, most of you are probably dealing with some level of illness, fatigue, depression, anxiety. Something feels a little lost, and you feel a little lost in this life. Maybe you're in good health and you're looking to become in amazing health. But I just imagine that, like most of humanity, there's a void and you're looking to fulfill this void. You know there's something deeper and more out there, and you watch my videos because I'm authentic, and you can tell by my voice of what I've been through, right? Because that's something interesting that I think about. None of you guys actually know what I went through. I mean, there are photos of me like hella skinny. There are people who would vouch for what I've been through. There are photos of me in the Amazon. It's a very, very crazy story. I would have to be borderline psychotic or evil to make the story up. But what I'm learning is that you can actually pass your experience through words, right? So I've told you guys all of that I've been through, right? But it doesn't matter what I actually say, right? Anyone can say something. Anyone can make up a story. Anyone can go through something. It's the energy that I'm passing to you based on what I went through. You know that this energy isn't even possible to cultivate, this level of the way I choose my words, how I speak. And I'm not saying this all as fact. I'm guessing this is why people watch me, is because I'm passing what I went through in my words, right? There's an energy, there's something that can get you hooked. There's something that you can latch onto and say, oh, wow, those words feel like they're coming from somewhere else. This guy's vibe is maybe reflecting that he did actually go through all of that, right? And that's why I think people grab onto my videos. So what was my point in going in all that? It's first thing in the morning right now. My brain is not working, but you know what? I don't need to make excuses. Sometimes my brain is just not working. It doesn't matter that it's the morning. That's just me trying to defend my detox. See, part of being a health coach, the gymnastics that happen when you're a health coach, which I'm working on purging from my being, the gymnastics that happen is that it's almost like I'm fearful that if I am not perfect, then I'll lose the faith of someone who was watching me, or I'll lose the faith. Like, believe it or not, that's actually the gymnastics that I just went through in that second, right? It was, oh, I forgot my memory. I forgot my train of thought. How could I forget my train of thought? I'm supposed to be clear and bright and totally in line. And, oh man, now someone else is going to think that the detox doesn't work. Okay, well, it's the first thing in the morning, so that's my excuse, right? That's the gymnastics I just went through. So let me just take it all, throw it all out. Okay. So how did I get to where I am? Okay. There, in hindsight, there was, oh geez, green smoothie everywhere. hindsight, there's one theme that I feel is very, very important. And it's way easier to think this way when you're healthy. See, all of these truths that we hear about how to think, where to rest our consciousness, how to perceive things, even my last video about stopping the story of suffering, even that advice can only be received on a spectrum based on how toxic someone is. The more toxic someone is, they would receive that advice and they would never be able to live a minute of that truth. Versus someone who's very, very clean and clear, their body's working well, they can live that advice day in and day out based on their own willpower and intentions. See, toxicity is creating a spectrum of free will. We don't actually have full free will. It's almost like free will over time. But in that moment, someone can be so toxic, it doesn't matter how much willpower they have, they just simply cannot see life that way. There's something too deep ingrained. Their grip is too deep onto their being that they can't see and experience that truth. But what I've learned is that there's a couple different places that we can rest our consciousness when we're in that sickness or in that pain. And what I learned is that the best place you can be in is to let the universe transform you. Okay? So it's very difficult to see this and to know this, but your sickness is leading to the highest you. Your sickness is the universe collapsing and shattering the thing that you thought was you and allowing a new butterfly to come out. Okay? Allowing something new. It's almost like this is literally how we are evolving, right? Evolution is never, not always easy. Evolution is, okay, humanity is in a dark place. Imagine this is the gods or the earth. Imagine this is Mother Earth speaking. They're consulting, they're doing a meeting in the center of the earth with the four winds and Mother Earth and God and the ocean gods and Hercules and whoever else, right? They're all in the room. And Mother Earth is like, guys, we are really in a bad situation right now. That was trying to be a woman's voice, right? And Hercules is like, yes, it is very ugly right now. And the four winds are like, yes, we must do something. They would all know that pain is the fastest catalyst, it's the fastest motivator for change, for wake up. Anytime you're directly experiencing pain, you're directly doing something to try and escape that pain or avoid or transcend or remove that pain. Without that pain, we would never go in the direction of where we're meant to go. Our life is just too filled with routines to ever start thinking outside the box without the pain. You'd never be watching my YouTube channel if you haven't experienced pain. I would come across as nuts, right? So, anyway, they're all in there in the consulting in the meeting, and they're like, basically, we need to give them depression, we need to give them anxiety, we need to give them all of these very difficult emotions in order for them to change directions as a culture, as a species, right? As humanity. So that's what's happening. Now, there's a few different directions we can run in once we experience this pain. We can start grinding on ourselves and thinking we're going to die and thinking of doom and gloom and stressing ourselves out. Or we can literally become an open vessel, an open receiver to what is. Some would call it surrender, right? Where you just simply acknowledge that life is so much bigger than you than me. Life is so much bigger than Josh Mason, than my story about my life that I have running on a daily basis. Think about it. Step outside of yourself for a second. Think about how massive this planet is, how powerful the forces are that are running the show, right? So step outside for yourself for a second and say, wow, somehow the way I handle this pain is going to lead to a more clear, stronger version of myself. Maybe not the actual pain itself, right? Sometimes the actual pain itself can help us as well. But what you'll do in order to get underneath that pain is automatically leading you to a deeper, higher, better you, right? To get to the root of that pain. So this is how humanity is going to create enlightened beings, or beings more in tune with nature, beings more in tune with love through pain. So what always helped me along the way, and again, sometimes I could live it and sometimes I couldn't, was just knowing that there was something so much bigger at play happening aside from my immediate feelings of the day, right? So you can get caught in the how bad your depression is, how miserable your thoughts are. I get it. It's easy to get caught in that. Or you can literally say, this is one day. This is just a side effect of this massive, massive purging and transcending experience that my soul is going through. This day is just a side effect. These thoughts are just a side effect for this massive journey, okay, that we're going through as humanity, this evolution towards our higher selves. So, now, you don't want to get caught in this full surrender where you just don't do anything every day, and you don't eat the right foods, and you're just laying around and surrendering. You want to balance it, right? So, anyhow, the message that I'm trying to pass through this camera right now is that the process you're going through is so much bigger than symptoms. It's so much bigger than your pain. It's so much bigger than your depression, your anxiety. It's a transcendence. It's a movement from one type of human being to another, from one paradigm to a different paradigm, from our divorcement to nature to our reconnection to nature and spirit. And it's hella painful to be a human being and be experiencing that. So there's no rush to get rid of your symptoms. Keep listening to them. Keep honoring them. Detox, no doubt. But keep listening and honoring all of that. It's going to take you, it's going to chisel out your highest self. See, I'm convinced that people are attracted to my energy and what I bring to the table because what I went through forced my highest self to incarnate into this body. Who I was before this was a completely different person, okay? And then 3.5, 4 years of torture, literally I had to call in my highest way of being. I had to literally grab above myself and say, I need this right now. I need this right now. I need this strength. I need this one more step. I need this paradigm. And going up and grabbing all of these things, and eventually after 3.5 years it's like, oh my God, I fucking brought it to planet Earth. It's here, you know, not all of it. I'm still working on becoming my highest self, but a lot of it is here, incarnated in this body now, I feel. More than most people I meet. So again, nothing but gratitude for what I went through. I never could have called upon these forces, called upon this knowledge by working at Microsoft and drinking beer on weekends. I would have never wanted that life. So this pain is forcing you to incarnate your strengths. We think we're our body, our muscles, our intelligence, our intellect. That's who we think we are. That's who we're trained to believe we are. There is a higher piece of yourself that's this amazing, beautiful light. Some people have a warrior soul, some people have archer, some people have a shaman, some people have all these different archetypes of your soul. And that soul is desperately trying to come into this vessel and act the way it wants to act through your physical body and merge with your heart, your belly, your mind, merge it all together and live that way. That's what it's desperately trying to do. It could never come in your old way of life that you were, who you were before you got sick, who you were before you started experiencing symptoms. It never could have come in. So all of this is just, the pain is forcing us to turn to something different than what we've normally been turning to in order to get to the root of the pain. You're turning above and saying, come help me with this, you know? Every day that you do something, you're grabbing onto something from above you, bringing it down, incarnating it, bringing it, fusing it with your body, fusing it into your DNA. Until, I believe, you can be a master on this planet, a master of the spirit world, living here in this human body. The grand experiment, fusing the human physical body with spirit. That's what we are. All right, we are naturally coming to the conclusion of this video here. Hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned, leave me a comment. I would love to hear what you think about this. I am reading almost all comments these days. Actually, I am reading pretty much every comment. So yeah,